Hi folks, it's Max from HighOnAndroid.com, where we get high on Android every day. If you're getting high on Android, what are you doing? You smoking crack or something? Stop smoking crack. Get high on Android like me, baby. The big news this week is that T-Mobile is rolling out 4G LTE to several different cities. March 26th, that's only 3 more days, to cities like Las Vegas, Nevada, Phoenix, Arizona, San Jose, California, Houston, Texas, Kansas City, Missouri, Baltimore, Maryland. So 4G LTE is rolling out for T-Mobile. Which phones support 4G LTE? Big surprise. If you own a T-Mobile Galaxy Note 2, you will have 4G LTE. That's right, with the latest T-Mobile firmware update, you'll be able to get enable the 4G LTE on your T-Mobile Galaxy Note 2, which I already have with the My ROM, custom ROM, and also you can download the official firmware. I'll show you real quick here, right there. So that is really nice. Oh yeah, baby. And for those of you who own a Galaxy S3 T-Mobile, you're out of luck because the T-Mobile Galaxy S3 does not have 4G LTE radios. Yeah, you can't even put it in there. You will have to buy a Note 2, or you can buy the new T-Mobile Galaxy S3 LTE version if you want to switch. But my suggestion is to get the S4 or the Note 2, depending on which one you want. As for price on the 4G LTE, I think T-Mobile is keeping their unlimited service, which is good, which would be a competitive advantage why you would switch from other carriers to T-Mobile. So I give applause, 2 thumbs up to T-Mobile for doing that. If T-Mobile can do this 4G LTE launch better than Sprint, definitely my money is going to T-Mobile next, and I think they could be, the next biggest carrier in the US. So I'm rooting for them. I hope they do a very good 4G LTE launch. Now let me do a wrap up of all the carriers, all the 4 major carriers, AT&T, T-Mobile, Sprint, and Verizon here in the SF area, and also while I travel around the US. Actually, I don't travel much, but I'll just give you an insight into the different networks since I tested everywhere, so let me do that. So AT&T, Verizon, let's go over AT&T first. AT&T probably has the fastest 4G LTE network. That's right, I get near 30 to 40 megabits per second, like everywhere. It's really nice. One of the reasons is that Verizon actually has more of the 4G LTE customers, whereas the AT&T 4G LTE is still growing, so it's not as congested, but you'll get 4G LTE speeds. And also the good thing with AT&T phones is that it supports 4 speeds. So you get 4G LTE, HSPA plus, 3G, and then you drop to Edge. Now in most cases, I'll get 4G LTE or HSPA. HSPA plus is still really fast on AT&T, and sometimes I drop to Edge. And the only time I drop to Edge is when I'm inside a steel vault in a bank with the door closed. Then it will drop to Edge. So kudos to AT&T for having 4 different speeds. And versus Verizon, Verizon has 4G LTE, 3G, and Edge. So most of the time I'm actually getting 4G LTE. Rarely do I get 3G. If the network's congested, I'll drop to 3G. But Verizon has very good coverage. Everywhere I go, you'll get 4G LTE wherever you go. Now, the thing with AT&T and Verizon is that very expensive. They go based on how much data you use per gigabyte, per megabyte, or whatever. So it can get very expensive if you use a lot of data. One of the things I really like about AT&T over Verizon is that it uses a SIM card that's compatible with unlocked international phones. Now, let's say I bought a phone in Egypt, maybe Thailand, or maybe even Africa, some international unlocked phone. I can go grab it, put my AT&T SIM card in there, and right away I'll be able to get voice, data, 3G, HSPA plus, and maybe even 4G LTE if it's a 4G LTE phone. Now if I buy a T-Mobile phone and I have a T-Mobile SIM card and I buy a international unlocked phone, you will get voice, but you'll be stuck on the Edge for most of the international unlocked phones. So that's why I really like AT&T, not because of the price, but if you travel often and you're a globetrotter, it can be a very good way to buy phones, buy new unlocked phones, and also swap out your SIM cards whenever you travel. Now Verizon does offer world phones, like the Verizon Note 2 can be hacked, so you can use it as a world phone. but the opposite does not work. You can't put a Verizon SIM card in an unlocked international phone and your voice will not work because Verizon's on CDMA and rest of the world is on GSM network. So that's a deal breaker for Verizon. Now let's talk about Sprint and T-Mobile. First, Sprint. 4G LTE is now available in many more cities. Here in my basement office, I don't have 4G LTE, but if I go to the second floor of my house, I'll get pretty good 4G LTE signals. Speeds are pretty decent, but Sprint took like 2 years. They took forever. They promised us 4G LTE in like SF Bay Area, like I think like a year back, and like it's been a year and I'm barely getting 4G LTE service. I paid like $10 extra on like 3 or 4 phones for like 2 years. I feel like I'm very mad as a consumer. They promised us something and they didn't deliver. I still like Sprint because it's unlimited, but the way Sprint works is that they're just very slow, and I'm tired of waiting. Now that T-Mobile is rolling out 4G LTE, this could be great news for the people. Once T-Mobile starts offering 4G LTE, their phones will support 4 different speeds: 4G LTE, HSPA+, 3G, and Edge, which means it's going to be like AT&T, but since they offer unlimited 4G LTE, hopefully, this will become the best deal of the century. Now, if T-Mobile can just get enough 4G LTE towers everywhere so I get better signals than my HSPA signals in my basement office, which I drop to Edge all the time, then I'm a believer in T-Mobile. And plus, I didn't have to wait 2 years like Sprint service. And the fact that I don't have to be all waiting 2 years or whatever for 4G LTE like Sprint, that makes me happy. I don't like to wait. I'm a very impatient person.
I like to do things fast. What Sprint should have done is at least not charge their customers $10 extra for 4G LTE service that doesn't exist yet, and just announce it when they have it.
If T-Mobile rolls out their 4G LTE, that's only good news for us consumers, because that means they will be fighting over the price, not us. And we should be able to expect some unlimited great 4G LTE service from either T-Mobile, Sprint, whoever. Really, I don't have a preference for a carrier. All I care is that it's cheap, it's fast, and I get good coverage, and I don't drop to Edge. Anyway, that wraps up my thoughts of the 4 major carriers for 2013. Is this the second quarter now? Almost second quarter. And I'll have updates, and but right now my favorite carriers are probably AT&T, Verizon. Sprint used to be on top, and they just fell off hard with their fake 4G LTE service. And T-Mobile, I still have heart for them. I hope their 4G LTE launch goes well. I hope I'm able to receive 4G LTE signals instead of dropping to Edge on my T-Mobile Galaxy Note 2. Actually, I'll show you right now. Oh, actually, you know what? Their 4G signals actually have improved a little bit. I'm getting HSPA Plus now. Anyway, thanks guys for watching this video. Question of the day: what's your favorite network? And how would T-Mobile's new 4G LTE network make a difference if they offered unlimited service and their 4G LTE was better or just as good as AT&T or Verizon? Would you change carriers? Leave your interesting and creative comments below. And I'll see you guys soon. Stay high on Android.